Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. We're going to jump straight into the content, starting with Crypto Eddie right here. She says, the best XRP 29 seconds you'll hear today. Oh, poor Charles Gasparino, Max Kaiser, and I love Jane Addams. Let's listen in to Jeremy Hogan here.
And she ruled on this XRP is not a security in a very interesting way. She quoted other cases which say kind of the same thing. And so it's called what's called dicta because it's not an essential part of her order, but it is in there. I don't think you can appeal that. I don't think that's appealable. I really don't. I don't think that any appellate court can touch that part of the order which says XRP in and of itself is not a security, which is really
Showtime. That's huge. We'll see as time progresses in this thing, man. That's huge to hear, though. But we're gonna jump into like why that is significant, because we've been talking about on this channel how, they've always had, when I say they, meaning the haters, the maxis, and the people that are trying to suppress, the digital asset XRP and so forth. They always sing the same song and the same tune as to what can we possibly do to create a narrative and an agenda behind suppressing and hindering and stifling the growth and innovation within the whole XRP realm, right? So the maxis are out at it again. WheezyX says these people just can't accept it. This guy says Judge Torres contradicted herself and she can't decide whether an asset is security. Only Congress can do that. And I was watching this. It almost looks like he's reading off of something, to be honest. Like he wrote something up or is reading somebody else's notes. I couldn't really tell, but it's crazy. I'm not even going to play this one. I'm going to go to the next one here, because I think this one's a little bit more intriguing here. So you got to listen to, I think this gentleman is one of those, I don't know if, I forgot what they call these people, but like he's like one of those big investor dudes. And I know he talks a lot about like investments and all that stuff, money and all that stuff. But I think this was a pretty huge moment. Digital asset investors classic moment. Right when the Ripple ruling news hits, quote, Jason, you are not figuring this out in real time. It's too complicated. The bottom line is the headline, they won. Listen into this, man.
Because the purchasers did not have a reasonable expectation of profit tied to Ripple's effort? Okay. Those sales were blind bid ass transactions, she said, where the buyers could not have known if their payments, I'm reading from Reuters here, of money went to Ripple or any other seller of XRP. Interesting. So the buyer becomes the person who profits from it becomes the fulcrum here. XRP sales on cryptocurrency platforms.
I mean, Jason, you're not going to figure this out in real time. This is too complicated. The bottom line is that the headline is...
Well, I just want to make sure the audience gets it, yeah.
Look, the headline is, I'm reading the tweet, Ripple sales of XRP do not constitute offer of investment contracts, according to Judge. They won. This is a huge vindication.
That's plain and simple right there. We won, they lost, and that just is what it is. We're going to continue on here. This is from Jane Addams. Says XRP is a security. A federal judge ruled institutional sales are security sales and concluded that Ripple's institutional sales of XRP constituted the unregistered offer and sale of investment contracts in violation of Section 5 of the Securities Act. Cope harder. So JD says, all one needs to do is read the plain language in the Torres decision to know the truth. XRP is not a security. It's the circumstances surrounding the sale of the underlying asset that indicates whether an investment contract exists. Someone might want to inform Jane that in 2013, BTC was used as a security in the Shavers case. Being packaged and sold as a security in that case did not turn BTC into a security, just like Ripple utilizing XRP in the securities transactions to institutions doesn't turn XRP into a security. I mean, boom. I mean, he literally highlights it right here too, right? So then if we come over here, Bill Morgan also says, no, correct, Jane. Sales of XRP to institutions are securities, investment contracts. The XRP token itself is not a security. You may not understand the distinction. It may seem small, but it is a big distinction, and the difference is critically important. So continuing on here, Patrick Riley's, this is a current presidential candidate, 2024 Republican presidential candidate. So this isn't a politic channel by no means, but I just wanted to throw this out here. It says, because it ties into, even Chairman Gensler coming out talking about, we're happy about the violation that, the part that we won in regards of the violation of Ripple and the earlier sales to institutions, right? But we're not happy about the whole, in a sense, secondary market sales or to the retail investors, right? That side of it. And then this gentleman says, Gary wasn't attacking XRP just because of the bribe from ETH. He was trying to hold back the advance of the United States economy at the direction of the blank administration, which is owned by China. Gary Gensler committed treason against the United States of America. So, I mean, this is... It makes me cringe, even talking about it. These are things that we've brought up, within the community without really making it political. We've just been connecting, the dots, right? And it's all this whole narrative and agenda thing, right? They're trying to cohort things and steer things in the direction that they want instead of really looking at, the greater good in regards to the United States, the globe, especially retail investors. And it's crazy, man. It all ties in together. And this is huge right here. This is Dimes to Donuts right here. We're not even going to say about his real name, that's Dimes to Donuts. So Squawkbox put this up in the quotes right here, but I want you to hear him say this. Obviously, we all know who Mike Novogratz is. Bet Dimes to Donuts, right? He was an inside man that knew more than I guess the public would know, type thing, right? So let's listen into this.
Hey, Michael, I'm sure since so many folks in crypto land were following this decision related to Ripple, I wanted to get your thoughts.
And you guys out there that, we're talking about some of the volume within, previous videos. Hey, you got to bear with me, man. This is the highest I can get it. So I'm just going to continue to play it.
Comments on it and whether you think it has any demonstrable impact in terms of how the SEC and how Congress and how others think about these things.
It has to force the Democrats, the White House and Gensler to the table to start negotiating fair rules. Like it was just.
But was this a win? I mean, maybe we should explain for the audience, and maybe Michael, you could probably do a better job than I can, what the decision was, because some people looked at that decision as a win for Ripple, and others said actually maybe it wasn't.
No, it was a big, big win for Ripple, and it was a big, big win for the crypto community. Like, let's not let Gary Gensler put lipstick on a pig. They lost, and they know it. And at best, the judge said, okay, now you're going to, if the SEC wants to litigate, you're going to have to litigate every token separately and every use.
So we're going to leave it at that. We don't need to hear him going the whole spiel, but yeah, they lost and they know it. I bet Dimes to Donuts, they lost and they know it. So that's a nice turn from Mike Novogratz there, aka Dimes to Donuts. Tony Edwards hits it on the head right here. He says the Wall Street herd is turning on Gary Gensler. The walls are collapsing around him. When Novogratz is saying positive things about Ripple and XRP, Gary is in a bad place. Notice how top CNBC contributor Jay Clayton has not made an appearance yet on the show to talk about Ripple and XRP victory. Confirmation Jay is a coward. He filed a lawsuit and ran out the SEC door the next day. Now, after Ripple wins, he goes into hiding. I'm curious to see, what he does have to say, and if he will address I mean, he's gonna have to, right? The biggest thing that's happened in crypto, right, outside of the devastation that's happened with all these Ponzi or the scams and the FTXs of the world, Sam Bankman-Fried's, the Daquan and Terra Luna and the Celsiuses and all that, right? SEC versus Ripple and the designation of XRP being declared not a security is the biggest thing that's happened within the space, right? There's so much strength that's been gathered on the side of good and right and what's just within the space that allows, exchanges, these companies and these other digital assets to have more firing power to fight back against the SEC. There's nothing more monumental that's happened, right? Outside, like I said, outside of the negative side of it, in my opinion, but he has to. I'm curious to see what happens with that. Crypto Law, so JD and Crypto Law put this up and says, on July 13, Judge Torres told the SEC that it has to talk about each token, each sale, if it wants to continue in regulation by enforcement farce in the SDNY. That's how bad of humiliation that Ripple ruling was for Gary Gensler. So listen into this. And this was from notfinancialadvice.crypto, always making solid videos right here.
I think there's been clarity for years. I'm not going to speak about one. I'm not going to speak to any one matter. I'm not going to get into any one company or one token. But I can't speak about any possible investigations. And I'm not speaking to all the other tokens. But I'm not going to get into any one filing because I'm not going to talk about any one of these tokens. I can't speak to any one case or any one situation.
Could you speak to the Ethereum issue?
I'm not going to go into any one set of conversations between the agency and a company. Not want me to speak about any one set of facts and circumstance. And the laws are clear. The law is clear. I think the law is clear.
The law is clear, but you can't speak on anything. Beating around the bush, and we've covered a lot of that on this channel, man. It's crazy. We're going to continue on here. So FedNow is live. So just in, Federal Reserve officially launches FedNow instant payment system. So there's a lot of stuff going around the internet about this, and we're going to cover Shannon Thorpe here. She goes, XRP, oh my God, I really wish I could post pictures right now. My heart is racing and my hands are shaking. I literally have all the information in front of me and I cannot share proof. Not fair. I can confirm that FedNow transaction has occurred. I can also confirm that it was for 0.01, which means they're testing it. I can also confirm it literally took 1 second for the total elapsed time. I really want to post proof of this, but the bottom of the application we use, it is copyrighted from 1999 to 2023, all rights reserved. Y'all remember when I said that whatever the Fed does, the banks will do? Confirmed. So then she continues on here. Let me go ahead and go on the record that all I'm trying to do is give information that I see with Treasury Management. I tag XRP because I speak to the people who hold it. I have never confirmed in this tweet that it is XRP they are using, only that a FedNow transaction has come through the banking system. I still do not know for sure what they use, but we speculate that it is XRP because of Volante being a Ripple partner, and both names are listed on the FedNow website. See my previous tweets for that information. So, okay, she's covering herself there, but she's kind of, building excitement. There's been people in the community that's been talking about, her kind of potentially, milking the cow in a sense. She's getting a lot of engagement. And then you also have Matt Helmington down here says, I see no reason why it would be XRP. And then also even Moon Lambo had put up the actual website. It says right here. So here's the truth from the government itself. And then he even says FedNow is a domestic payment system in the U.S. and does not use XRP. Including XRP and FedNow transactions would add friction, higher costs, and slower transaction times. Yeah. So why would they for utilizing it domestically, right? And then XRP Crypto Wolf says, wasn't FedNow supposed to use XRP? Who lied? So yeah, from what I saw, and even if I come down here, there was something else, but I don't know where it was. But yeah, from what I saw, it's I don't, just like Matt Helmington says, I don't see why it would be XRP. But hey, I guess it's anybody's guess. But all we can go is based off of what the government has on the website in regards of the FedNow deal. But yeah, it's live today, and I wanted to end on this from Mr. Intuitive. I thought it was comical. It says post judgment settlement negotiations fly on the wheel. So let's listen into this.
Brad, pay me $100 million. Gary, what do we get? XRP is not a security as a matter of law. We have leverage, Gary. Brad, you're so stubborn. Now pay me $250 million. Gary, you're so silly. Fine. But we want a no action letter from the SEC in regard to those pre-allocated option contracts. That's going to cost you $500 million, Brad. I need a win here. Brad, that's too much money. Please, no. Fine, Gary. You have a deal. $500 million and a no action letter from the SEC regarding those prior option contracts. Fine. Deal. Stuart, you got to learn how to control your client. Stuart, Gary thinks he won. Nice reverse psychology coming in there. We now have the only no action letter from the SEC. Those loyal customers who stuck by us get to activate those options. The rest who refused have to buy from exchanges. No. Sir.
Ooh. Devastating. Why? I should have been nicer. Clayton's gonna kill me.
Brad.
I love it, man. Mr. I, man. Troomers only. Quickly coming over here, we're looking at CoinGecko. We're currently sitting at a $1.2 trillion market cap. We're having some downside here. Bitcoin broke down into the 29,722. Ethereum sitting at 1885, and XRP's at 79 cents. So I'm definitely going to see this, expect this Bitcoin Fair Green Index to be down a little bit based on that. But that's all I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. Really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.